Aloha. It's good to see everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm very grateful I found this through Katie, this new music that I'll be playing today. It's a beautiful chorus. We are going to slow things down considerably today and just yin and nourish and restore. And we'll bring in a little bit of acupressure and some other alternative healing techniques as we go through today. So I want to have you begin in child's pose, but a wide leg version of child's pose. And if you have any props that you love to use, bolsters, blocks, blankets, make sure you have those handy so that you can really thoroughly enjoy this downtime. So start with the knees wide, big toes to touch. You can decide how you want your arms to be. You can have them extending out along the floor. Some of you may even want to place a pillow or a blanket rolled up between your legs so you can make your backside heavy towards your heels. Start to turn your awareness inward. As you release and give your weight to the earth, become aware of the sacredness, this moment and opportunity to close the divide between your mind, your heart, your body, and your spirit. And as we come together, ourselves, in that wholeness, we deeply and fully honor this breath that gives us life and enter into sacred time. Today's theme is following your own rhythm. Deep within, you are moved by an ancient, powerful force that cannot be tamed. It is the rising pulse of your connection to the life force. You feel it in your bones, in your blood, in your heart, and in your belly. When there is something dying within, you sense it falling away, no longer needed. You sense when it's time to rest and be patiently in transition. You feel the stirring of agitation and restlessness when new life calls you to create, to act, to step forward and take a risk. You know you march to your own beat, that no one else can tell you what your inner rhythms are, and that you must trust in your own timing. You cannot be rushed or forced, nor can you be held back when it is time to burst forth. Life celebrates and supports the natural rise and fall of your inner rhythms. So in these last few moments here, feeling your breath and any adjustments you need to make so you can comfortably open, respond to the earth, yielding to its energies, yielding to gravity. Noticing how the pulse of your breath is felt through the entire body, an expansion on inhalation and a contraction and a deepening on exhalation. And now slowly allow yourself to snake your way forward onto your belly, laying on your belly, pelvis, front of the legs, tops of the feet. And just take a moment here just to rest fully against the earth. We'll be here for about a minute, just listening. Shamatha is the calm abiding in your own breath.
And then I come to know my power, got my blessings and all the came clear, but I couldn't hear nobody praying, couldn't hear what no one was saying. Oh, had to learn my place among these.
Again, noticing the yielding of the motion of exhalation, dropping, softening. And then the beautiful pulse away from the earth as you inhale and ride that wave of breath through the riverbed of your spine.
And in listening to and in following my heart, I found it was a perfect start. And
Now
now I
popping yourself up into Sphinx pose with the elbows directly under the shoulders. You can bring your arms in front in prayer position with the elbows close in by your ribs. Or if it feels better, you can bring your forearms onto the ground with the elbows bent and just prop yourself up on the forearms with the arms sort of like two tracks next to each other. And then let your shoulders drop down away from your ears. Let your neck elongate. And you may need to gently press your pubic bone or pelvis downward and start to just softly start that lifting and pressing of your legs also into the earth. So really ground your contact with where your body touches the earth. Feel the toes and the feet, the knees, the thighs, and of course the pelvis and hips. And then from here, as you press down through your elbows and forearms and hands, begin to get this sense that your whole entire inner body is helping you to elongate and lengthen upwards and out through the spine, through the crown. And now just gently start to draw your chin back so the back of your head presses towards the back of your space. We'll give this about another minute and a half. If there's any point in which you feel you have to come back down to the starting position, do so. You also have the option to deepen this with seal pose, opening the palms now wide as your mat, pressing the palms down and straightening the arms. As you straighten your arms, you come up, and it's like your arms are the front flippers of a seal. Okay, and this gives you a bigger back bend, a little bit more active. Still slide your shoulder blades down the back and also draw your chin back to engage the hyoid, the throat and the jawbone back of the skull. You kind of feel like you're in that pulling and lengthening and lifting, and at the same time, the grounding of your pelvis and legs and tops of your feet. And then play with how much engagement you need. You can soften around your edges. And allow yourself to come back into the first resting position or into Sphinx. Just another few breaths here.
To the place where I belong. Pachamama, coming home. To the place where I belong. Pachamama, coming home.
Notice how you can direct your breath into your heart space or any areas of your body that need extra care, extra attention. Notice how you can activate the pelvic floor, the inner belly, so that you feel more internal support here and now. Complete this exhalation and empty all your breath out of your lungs. Inhale fully and see what appears as you expand your lung capacity. And then as you take your next exhale, draw in with your hands and slowly bring yourself down, chest, chin, forehead, turning the cheek to one side. And again, just softening fully here, receiving. A special message for following your own rhythm is knowing that you cannot miss what you are destined for, nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. And we must trust in the life cycles within and feel the perfect balance between effort and surrender, discipline and letting go. You need to turn your head to the opposite direction. Feel free. When it is time for the rhythm of rest, you feel a natural slowing within, drawn into contemplation and more gentleness, spaciousness, nourishment, and even more peace. Let's press back into all fours. So table pose. Take a few moments in table just to allow your creature body to move as it would like. So figure eights over your hands and knees or circles over your hands and knees. Cat cow the spine. You can do that with knees wide together or separated at the normal place like hip distance. And you can do the same with the hands. You can bring the hands a little further forward and spread your fingers. Just sort of let your body dance in that rhythm of your breath and your natural flow. Just giving yourself permission to move freely beyond what's been taught of how to do things in a proper way. And maybe a leg or an arm wants to raise and circle up and out. Maybe you begin to see a cat or a different kind of animal start to emerge with one leg back and one arm forward, maybe a little baby back bend. Lots of opportunities to explore Our next pose will be coming into Kapotasana, easy pigeon pose on the right side. So sliding when you're ready your right knee forward towards your right thumb side. And then allowing your right foot to sort of inch its way over towards your left hip. So your left hip is over your right foot, ankle arch. Okay, you can just make a little easy number 7 with that leg. You don't have to make it fully across the front of your mat. And then do yourself a favor and find where your hips are level, like 2 scales. So the tendency often is for one hip to be a little higher than the other. And in that case, you're welcome to take a blanket and put it under the hip that needs the support. And then even though your hands are down right here, give yourself a little baby back bend, like a baby cobra in your chest. Draw your chin back, the back of your head back. Open the heart, expand the shoulder blades back. And then when you're ready, begin to make that small journey down to the floor where you can plant your forearms down again, either like 2 tracks, or you can take your palms together in namaste. You may even interlock your hands like prayer. So wherever you decide to hang out for the next several breaths, find a comfortable place to rest. So that means placing a block underneath your forehead or sliding a big pillow underneath your belly. The act of approaching a yin practice is with incredible respect to the channels that flow energy through our whole entire body. Specifically today, we're focusing on the liver and gallbladder to help release excess heat from the body, excess fire. So a lot of this month, I'm really focusing on kind of the antithesis of anger and rage. We're working on that fire, Mars energy that's so prevalent right now in the world. And we're inviting those fires to do the job of digesting and detoxing. And we're releasing with our own mental intention, with our own hearts, any excess so that we can be freed and peaceful in both body and mind. Continuing to allow the unwinding process. You may choose here to take a little twist. So you can prop yourself up on that left forearm and then turn to the right. So you're looking over your right shoulder. You can even take your hands to prayer mudra as you push your left elbow in. If this feels right, give it a go. If you'd rather, you can slide your left arm out to the right side of your mat and then just lay your head down from there. So lots of opportunities to explore a little twist while you're in this pose. Last few breaths as we hold here, nourishing the spine, nourishing the organs that sit along the spine, giving them space, giving them fresh blood and nourishment from the nerves, opening those channels for healing. So let's unwind. We'll take a moment in the transition of moving from one side to the next. So oftentimes we rush that movement. So what I want you to do is come back to all fours. Again, find that little creature movement with the circles, figure eight. Some of you may even want a down dog here. Or feel free to do a dolphin pose on your forearms instead of on your hands. Soften through your jaw. Soften and release through your neck and head. And just know that whatever movements you're being guided to move towards are absolutely perfect for you at this moment. Trust in yourself. Actually, before we go to the other side, we're going to keep the right knee over the left and come into shoelace pose. I'm going to give you a view of that. So we'll come to sitting. I have a little pillow under my seat. We'll bring our right leg over the left. Most of you are used to doing this kind of pose as a seated twisting kind of shape. But we want to lay the right knee down on top of the left. So both these sides of the feet, the outer edges of the feet, come down against the floor. Now this isn't comfortable for everyone's knees. So you may need a block underneath your sitting bones. You may need to elevate your hips even higher here. If that's you, feel free to do so, okay? So I've got my legs crossed, knee over knee, and what you can do is lean forward, lift your backside up, and squeeze your inner groins together while you sit back down. Option for those of you with the knee pain, you can lay on your back for this version of the pose, or you can keep the right foot on the floor. So we have our right leg on top, everyone. Okay. Coming together in shoelace pose, whatever version you like. If you're sitting, both hands on your feet. If you're laying down, grab your feet. Sit and lengthen up through your spine as tall as you can get while letting your shoulders release away from your ears. Let the crown of your head move up towards the sky. Engage that lower belly so you feel it kind of pull in and back. But really feel those sitting bones weighted against the floor. So I want you to, as you exhale, to feel a heaviness through your sitting bones, like you're anchoring down. You're like dropping your anchor down into the earth. On your next breath out, start to tip your chest forward over your crossed legs. Those of you on your back, there's just a few of you. Make sure if you come into this next stage, you're just drawing the legs closer to your belly, right? We're shortening the distance between our trunk and our thighs. Now you can keep your hands on your feet and give your feet a little massage, or you can walk your hands out in front. You just want to keep the sitting bones down. So the tendency is as we come forward to kind of let the backside lift behind us, we want to keep the hands and the backside grounding down as heavily as we can. So let the movement almost be like a rounding of the belly and a rounding of the spine. You're hollowing things out on the front side of you to make your way forward across your legs. So just go as deep as it is comfortable for you. You may even find that coming half the distance at first is all you need. Soften through your facial muscles. Soften through your brow, especially. Turning your awareness to the inner eye. Now, what kind of breathing really makes things happen here? One way to breathe is called apana pranayam, that is downward flowing breath. So you can imagine that when you inhale and your belly fills up, that you take that filling action and you move it downward toward the base of your pelvis. So almost like you're reaching to touch your pelvic floor muscles on your inhale. And as you exhale, you just let that breath kind of pulse back up into the core of your body, like the belly around the navel center or just above. So try it a couple rounds. Again, we're working with the meditation technique of shamatha for our mental health today. That is calmly abiding in this moment with our breath. Calm abiding. And you can feel yourself start to decompress, exhales, as if you're cleansing out any tensions from within and releasing them through your exhalations. Good. On your inhale, start to walk yourself back. If you're still on your back, that's great. We're just gonna kind of loosen. And then from here, we got a little bit of a side bend. So we're gonna keep the knees just as they are. And we're going at the same direction of our knee. So the knee and the foot is off to the right, to the left, right? So we have our left hand to the floor. We'll bring our right arm up and we're just gonna side bend over to the left. So the whole right side gets open, okay? From the right hip bone all the way up along the whole right rib cage, right armpit, right arm. Okay, so really extending over, but still kind of pushing down into that right sitting bone. Inhale up the front of your body. Exhale down the back of your body. Inhale up the side of your body, right side. Exhale down the left side of the body. Good, so just cycling your breath, visualizing your breath as it moves through your body. And then you can let your head go a little bit more, left ear towards left shoulder. One more big breath, you're almost there. And on your inhale, use it to raise you. Reach up through the arm, press down through the left hand at the floor, bring everything back. Fingertips to the floor, and give your head just a gentle little wobble, wobble, bobble head. Good. And then keeping that right leg over, straighten your left leg out in front of you. Okay, so the right leg still stays over. We still got this, almost like our pigeon pose stayed with us through these last few poses. All right, sitting up nice and tall, grounding the sitting bones down, further connecting into that lower body. Inhale here, exhale, tip forward. So again, we're coming into a little forward bend. We're gonna reach to grab the shin or ankle or foot, wherever you can comfortably reach. This is half shoelace pose. Let's focus on letting go through the jaw and the throat.
have everything I need. I am everything I want to be. I have everything I
So
need.
focusing on that left hamstring,
I
opening up for
am everything I want to be. I have everything I
feeling the
need.
belly rising and falling as you.
I am everything I want to be. I have everything I need. I am everything I want to be. I have everything I need.
If you haven't yet done so, allow your head
I
to
am
lower. It's comforting this.
everything I want to be.
Last few breaths.
I have everything I need. I am everything I want to be. I have everything I need. I am everything I want to be. I have everything I need.
Start to inhale, gently
I
round
am
your way up.
everything I want to be.
Take that right
I
foot
have
down, plant it on the
everything
ground. Our
I
final pose on this right side. I know you guys are ready to release,
I am
but stick
everything
with
I
it.
want to
Wrap
be.
the left arm around the right knee,
I have
or if it feels good for you, take
everything
the elbow
I
all the way over.
need.
Wrap the right arm back
I
behind
am
you.
everything
Inhale,
I
lengthen through your
want to
spine.
be.
And exhale, start to
I
twist
have
through.
everything
Sitting bones
I
stay planted
need.
where they are. You feel the lower part of your body very
I am
steady, very connected.
everything I want to
So we're
be.
wringing out the spine through
I
the middle,
have everything
from around the
I
navel
need.
and waistline up through the ribs,
I am
all the way up
everything
through the
I want to
shoulders and
be.
chest,
I have
spiraling through
everything
the neck
I
and head,
need.
gentle twists through the upper part of the
I
spine.
am everything I want
5
to
more of your
be.
deepest breaths.
I have everything I need. I am everything I want to be. I have everything I need. I am everything I want to be. I have everything I need. I am everything I want to be.
Inhale fully this breath.
I have
Use your
everything
exhalation
I
to
need.
unwind, coming back.
I am everything
All right,
I
let's go over
want
to
to
the other
be.
side. We'll swing that
I
right leg
have
over, come back to
everything
all
I
fours for a few
need.
moments. Give ourselves
I am
time.
everything I
Become a
want to
little
be.
creature again on all
I
fours.
have
Circling
everything
the
I
hips, you'll really
need.
start to notice how things have
I
shifted.
am everything I
Notice how
want to
your right
be.
side feels compared to your left.
I have everything I need.
Kind of a down dog or
I am
reaching the leg
everything
wants to
I
happen here.
want to
Please feel
be.
free to just let your body
I have
move as it would like
everything
for the next
I
minute or so.
need. I am everything I want to be. I am everything. I have everything I've ever wanted to be. I am everything I want to be. I have everything. I have everything I need. I need.
So permission to explore and discover for another breath or two, and then we'll slide that left knee forward. When you're ready, left knee towards the left thumb side. Right leg straight back behind you for pigeon. Find your pigeon on this side now. So start with your upright version. Shoulders down, heart lifted. Back leg really anchored, top of the foot pressing down. Engage the hips so they draw slightly in towards the midline. Back of the head starts to fold, chin starts to drop slightly. Feeling the back of the skull lengthening towards the wall behind you. From here, pulling length, hips level, across and over the left knee, coming down as far as you'd like. So the leveling of your hips can be supported by a blanket or a block. If this feels for any reason unsafe for your knee, you can lay back and pull the left knee in, keeping the right leg straight along the floor. Some of you really coming into rest mode here, resting over a blanket or a pillow. As we're here on our first side, I want to offer a healing process. So allow yourself to take it in the best you can with your breath and with your awareness, continuing with our experience of shamatha, just calmly abiding with our breath. I now release any unhealthy attachment to the structures, routines, and belief systems of others that are preventing me from accessing and honoring my inner sacred rhythms. May I be assisted through unconditional love to know the truth of my own timing. I love myself enough to give myself rest when needed, to trust in my own inner timing and not feel forced or rushed. I believe in myself enough to take healthy, inspired risks and action when the timing feels right for me. I trust my inner rhythms. They are wise and helpful. Through unconditional love, so be it. You may find now a twist would feel nice. Taking the right arm under or sliding the right forearm down so you can press both palms together for a twist. Looking over your left shoulder. Or simply resting on your right side with your right head down on the floor. Begin to reverse your way out of this pigeon, also known as sleeping swan in Yin Yoga. Take your time. Remember, we're not fully yet releasing, and that's the tricky part here. So if you've been laying on the ground, stay there. If you've been in pigeon, we're just drawing now ourselves back through all fours. Sitting up so the left knee is on top now for our shoelace pose. So check in. Left is over on top. Both feet folded off to the sides. Good. And now let's press into the feet, giving our feet a little massage. So toes maybe didn't get any attention yet. Maybe you didn't touch the heels or the ankle. You can play a little bit with connecting to your own feet and the skin of your feet. And as you feel ready on your inhale, sit tall. Relax your shoulders back and down. Really plug down into the earth as you move up through your crown and then tipping forward, allowing your belly to come closer to your thigh. And then you can do this from a reclining version. I notice for myself, turn down the music. So I notice for myself often that when given these positions, I may not always find my comfortable place in the pose. I may actually make some sort of excuse that's like, oh, this is the right way to do it, or this is the way I should do it. But instead, what I invite you to do is choose that inner rhythm and see if given any option to do this pose exactly as your body would most benefit from it. See what you would choose. See how you would change the way you're here so that it fits what your body is craving. And if your body is craving more action in the pose, be more active with it. And if your body is craving more rest with the pose, don't stop yourself from laying on your back and enjoying this pose from your back. And if you just want to try it out, just to try it out and then come back to the seated version, that's okay too. So really being in this research, experiment of learning about your body and yourself and not limiting by any ideas or thoughts you might have of what's right or what's wrong. Allowing this to be an exploration of permission, of okayness, to find my place, my body's perfect fit in each of these poses. So let's give this shape one more breath wherever we're at. Exhale this breath completely so you really give your weight to the earth, surrendering, yielding, being, breathing out, empty, empty, empty. And then on your inhale, walk your hands back up. And as you walk your hands back up, sit back to tall, sit back to length. And then let's get that little side stretch. So left arm goes up, right arm up, hand out the floor, and then arcing over to the right. So the whole entire left side is opening, dropping down into your left hip, making that left hip super heavy. Nice. And keeping that energy going as you breathe in, stretch all the way up even further along your left side, like you're shooting fireworks out through your fingertips. And then when you exhale, see if you can make yourself a little heavier, resting your right ear towards your right shoulder. When you press your hand into the floor, your right hand, feel the weight drop into your left sitting bone and left hip. Send that anchor down. Inhale up the front of the body. Exhale down the back of the body. Inhale up the left side. Exhale down the right side. Perfect. On your inhalation, start to raise yourself all the way back up. Coming back to seated, and then stretching the right leg out straight. Again, you can prepare yourself best by having that same shape on the top leg, the left leg. So the left foot is off to the side, off to the right side of your mat. And we're working on our right hamstring now. Let's do a stretch up for this one. Inhale, reach and get tall. Anchor through the sitting bones. Kind of give them a little wiggle or wobble there. Feeling the earth below. Exhale, reach out and over. Tilt your chest over your knee and thigh. Grab hold wherever you can comfortably reach. Chin, ankle, foot. Maybe your foot wants another massage here. Maybe another part of your leg wants a little massage here. So dive in these moments now into the silence and the stillness of shamatha. Trying now with the Apana Pranayama breath, downward flowing breath down into the bowl of the pelvis. We are bathing our hips today. Hips often carry resentment. Low back often carries instability from our lives or too much attachment to the past. So as we begin to move through these last few poses, I want you to energetically, emotionally allow whatever's there that feels stuck or blocked or tender, to allow each exhale to help cleanse that space in your hips, low back, even at the lower part of the belly on the front of you. And spilling any thoughts or cares or concerns you have, anybody else's ideas, and allow yourself to be free of any resentment by reclaiming your own inner rhythms. Inhale, slowly walk yourself back up to seated. Take the shoulders back, place the left foot on the ground. We have our final seated twist here. Right leg stays out in front long. Hook the right arm around the front of the left knee, or take the right elbow over the left knee and use that as leverage to help you twist. First, long spine, sit tall, pressing through your sitting bones to lengthen up. And then exhale, gentle use of the arms at first. Let the wave of twist come from deep within, almost as if you're climbing a spiral staircase. From the ground up, you feel this rotation, this revolution through your spine. And that is bringing hydration and lubrication to all the areas of the spinal column, the connective tissue around the rector spinae, as well as all your internal organs, your gallbladder, your liver, your stomach, your intestines. Feeling the circulation of breath and blood. We are beings that ooze, and you'll feel that warmth and that heat, maybe moisture releasing from the body. Each time you exhale, invite the cooling and that moisture to help bring that breath of fresh air, that cool rain, that trickling mountain spring, releasing any excess heat or tension we're carrying. Mind, body, soul. Big long inhale. And exhale, spiral yourself back to center. Okay. So from here, we'll take the soles of our feet together. I want you to lie on your mat for this one. We're gonna lie back, taking the soles of the feet together. I love taking a bolster or a pillow underneath my spine. So it looks like this. I take my bolster and I place it behind me on the floor. I take the bolster and bring it right up against my sacrum, but my bottom is off. I might even have my 2 blocks today to support underneath my knees. And then I'll lay back from here. The length and space of my heels from my pubic bone, I can decide how big that diamond shape is. So you're just gonna find your most precious, most comfortable resting spot here. Getting into the restore part now of our yin practice. Specifically, we'll be here for quite some time resting. So this is an integrative pose. We've been in asymmetrical poses for a while now, doing different things on different sides. It's been since we did our Sphinx pose and our wide-kneed child's pose that we've had this kind of symmetry. So really feel the glorious happiness that your hips feel. And if for any reason, like you come into this and you're like, no glorious happy feeling in the hips, I want you to come out of the pose and allow your creature body to move however it needs to. And maybe that is doing some more cat-cows and down dogs. Maybe it is to lay on the floor and do a happy baby or a little reclining twist before you lay back here. So again, plenty of permission. Get some more music going.
Within me is boundless love. 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 Love is all there is. Love, love, 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 love is all there is.
Well, I invite you as you stay for another 3 minutes in this pose to change your arms if it feels comfortable for you to bring them overhead or place them on your belly. Give yourself an alternative movement with the arms.
Feel love and bring it to my heart. Reach up, feel love and bring it to my heart. Reach up, feel love and bring it to my heart. Reach up, feel love and bring it to my heart. Reach
Once again, I want to remind you this beautiful message of following your own rhythm. And this speaks to that you are never going to be missing what you are destined for. That you cannot miss what you are destined for. Nor will you gain anything by trying to push yourself. We trust those cycles to present in the perfect timing. So from where you are now, you can take the soles of your feet round and let your knees bend. Take one of your blocks. Well, let's do this. Let's start by rolling over onto our side. We'll do a little transition before we move into our next few poses. So from here, roll off your bolster, whatever's supporting your back. Sort of take that off to the side and grab your block. We'll be coming into supported bridge pose. You can decide how high you want your block, but start with the lowest setting for your block. Press through your feet like you would for bridge pose, and then slide your block underneath your waistline. So right at the triangular bone that is your sacrum. Perfect. And now from here, allow yourself to rest your hips down into your block. So it should feel comfortable. If for any reason it doesn't feel comfortable, you may need to change your block or use maybe a bolster or blanket underneath you instead. So we're just elevating the pelvis enough to get the pelvic area to open. We're going to begin a little acupressure here. There's a couple options. First option, which we haven't done, is the heart 1 point, which is underneath the armpits. You actually take your fingers, middle finger or any of the middle 3 fingers or all of them, and place it underneath like the actual arc of the inside of your armpit. So you cross your hands in front of your chest, take your fingertips into the armpits and just press lightly. Let your elbows and your arms just fold or cross right over your chest. And we'll just hold this for about a minute. We call it also self-hug in acupressure, acu-yoga. So we're giving ourselves this acupressure pressure hug. And what it does is we close our eyes and we breathe deeply. It affirms that the universe is a peaceful, loving place, nurturing our own hearts. Perfect. Now taking this time to release your hands. Again, you can place your arms however you'd like, either down along your sides or on your belly. You might even take your arms overhead for these last few breaths here. And just be mindful of any tensions you're carrying, especially again in your face, your ears, your cheeks, your eyes. And consciously relax and release all the muscles of your face. Okay, so using the pressure of your feet against the earth, begin to raise your hips away from your block or blanket, whatever you're using to elevate your hips. If you'd like to take a regular bridge pose, feel free. Slide the block out from underneath you and take a few moments just to free move again. So maybe a happy baby, maybe, a little twist here, drawing the knees into the chest. So just again, allow that deeper instinctual self to guide inner movement. Okay, our next transition is to a wall or to a chair. And this is to do legs up the wall pose or legs up the chair pose. There's no rush to get there. This is the second to the last pose we'll be doing today. So if you have some other movements that are calling your name, please feel free to take your time to go there. And in the meantime, if you have to clear a space at your wall or you have to adjust your room so you can have your legs up against your chair, do so. And once you get to a laying position, I have a few other acupressure points for you to work with. Particularly, for those of you who've been taking classes with me, we've been doing the acupressure mostly as mental emotional release points. And specifically today, we talked about releasing some of old resentments, right? Releasing some built up anger, anything that, where we gave someone power when we didn't feel like we had ours. So these are to help us release those deeper patterns that may be held within. And the point that we'll do is conception vessel 6, which is the point that's right on your sternum, kind of between your chest, usually right around that nipple line, but it's right where your sternum ends and before your kind of arc of your rib cage begins. Okay, so it's going to be right there, kind of in the middle of your chest points. Okay, you don't have to touch this hard. You just have to rest. You can rest your fingertips there, or you can even rest the heel of your palm of your hand, like the heel of your hand on there. Okay, so it's just to give a little extra pressure into this CV6 point. Okay, the other hand is going to go somewhere else. Okay, the other hand is going to go to conception vessel 17. I'm sorry, this is 17. Conception vessel 6 is just above the pubic bone. So the line above your pubic bone, you're going to go to about where your hip bones, about the same point your hip bones are, but towards the middle. So I would say maybe an inch or two underneath your belly button. And it's the same line as your hip bones, the top of your hip bones, the iliac crest. So your other hand, fingers can press there, or the heel of your hand can press there. So you basically have one hand on your belly and one hand at your chest. And then close your eyes and allow yourself to rest against the earth with the legs up. If your legs are straight up, like at a wall or window, you're just allowing your feet to naturally splay and relax, sort of feeling the weight of your legs. This is also aptly named waterfall pose when the legs are straight up, because it really feels like the energy is coming from up above to down below and sort of pooling some blood and some nerve energy into the bowl of your pelvis. So you kind of feel a little pool at the pelvis. You may even feel a little pooling of energy at the back door of your heart and the back of your head. So you can imagine, like, a beautiful place where there's a waterfall and that little trickling creek that comes down and pools water into the bowl of your pelvis, the expanse of your heart, and in the back of your head. And you're holding this enormous space for your self-healing, for your releasing those deeper patterns that are ready to unwind from all levels of your being. Taking this time to revitalize our spirit, heal our hearts. Relieving anxiety, feeling our energy come back to us, opening our breathing, the natural rhythm of our own breath. Now have the option, should you like to change positions, to either open your legs out wide or take butterfly pose at the wall, shift your legs in any way, or even roll away from the legs up position so that you can make your way into our final resting spot, Shavasana. Whatever you decide as you begin to make your way into your final resting position, we'll have another set of hand positions to take. You may want to take an extra blanket roll, or even sliding a blanket across you, or an eye pillow over your eyes. I love taking a bolster under my knees for a final resting pose. And some of you may even elect to take your Shavasana onto your belly or even on your side with a leg over a bolster. So lots of options here. So we'll hold our upper chest points just for the first minute of our Shavasana, and then we'll just sort of let things go for a bit. The upper chest point will be stomach 13, and it is located below your collarbone in the center of the chest on each side. Okay, so here's my collarbone, center of the chest. You'll almost find as you slide your hands underneath your collarbone, maybe about an inch, you'll find a little divot there. That's where we want to be. And this strength in this center, this stomach 13 point, wonderful for digestion, of course, but particularly it's our sense of self-love and personal power. So you can just let your hands rest there. Some people cross their hands over their chest and sort of hold their heart, making a heart-shaped mudra over their chest and pressing those points below the collarbone. So option to do this wonderful stomach 13 acupressure point. Sometimes you may notice some bits of resistance that maybe all of a sudden here we get to our final relaxation pose and here the resistance arises. And you know, I just want you to affirm your courage to face whatever's here and trust that, you know, we're all facing the unknown right now. And as we hold ourselves during this time, we pay attention to any images or thoughts or emotions that arise. And we focus on breathing away, or breathing, I should say, into, right? We don't need to breathe it away. We just breathe into whatever feelings are there, whatever pain's there, whatever we want to avoid, with the intention of allowing those things to be free, being held against us in our body. Feel free to relax now your arms in whatever position they would like for the final few minutes of class. And deepening your breathing. Welcoming yourself back to this room that you're in. Shamatha, abiding in the beauty of your breath, this moment, and feeling your gratitude for any healing, release that has occurred through this practice today. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Honoring this path of self-healing as we roll gently onto one side. And just shift your attention to this willingness to heal, to give back that self-love and that rhythm and permission to be in our own perfect timing. And as we make our way up to a seated position, we honor any excess heat that was released, any fires we put out from within. And of course, the beauty of the awakening of the hips and the pelvis, so we can once again really feel more pleasure being alive, being in this body, being on the planet. I welcome you to bring your palms together at your heart center. I thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.